Yo, what's going on? I go by the name of Andrew Dada. You are now tuned into the What's Going On podcast. Today I'm joined by a very special guest. This woman happens to be a very good friend of mine, someone who's I consider fearless, down to earth, and just all around cool. I always call her Auntie Ash because she really does like to act like an auntie, yo. You like, just make some noise. Give a warm welcome to my friend Ashley. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Dada? You already know the real Ash Cash here. Thanks for having me out today, supporting your podcast. Love to see it.
The pleasure's all mine. Ready to get into this topic?
Oh, of course, let's do it.
Let's do it. So, I got this inspiration, honestly, because one, I asked people what I want to talk about on this podcast, right? And, the main thing that popped up was cheating. And cheating is such a relevant topic to talk about. I actually didn't want to talk about this just because it's like, all right, this is gonna be the basic who cheats more, guys or girls, guys, and then it's just like I don't even want. I just felt like it just wasn't like worth it, like pointless. You know what I'm saying? However, it was just like, but it's such a common topic that I think we have to just talk about it like in the right form or the right setting. You know what I mean? And it was just like, all right, let's talk about cheating. uh, because it's so common, right? Pop culture. You think about stuff, people like Jill Scott, right? I was just talking to you before we even recorded about Jill Scott with that one song. What's the name of the song? Loki forgot again.
Cross My Mind.
Cross My Mind, right?
Yeah.
Cross My Mind.
Classic.
And it was like stuff like she was talking about how she moved on, but she didn't really move on because she was still remembering the cologne of the man, how it didn't fit on the other person, but it fit on him. How the way he remembers how the way he walks and all that, and how just physically attracted she was to him, and it was just like, yo, she's still like cheating, low key. If the dude would have heard that, it would have been a bad situation. You know what I mean? But then that's like also common. Like you see that on IG, you see that Twitter, you see that in movies as well. Countless movies of people just cheating like left and right. You see that in TV shows. Empire is a perfect one.
Facts.
Power is a perfect one. Like you see, Ghost was just telling Tasha like the love of my life just died, and it was the person that he was not married to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you hear how like just silly like that sounds, but it was just go crazy because that's really just how I feel like cheating is just moving nowadays. Do you don't agree?
I hate to see it, man. You hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
Need to be more wholesome.
Silly. Silly. So let's get into the first topic, man. So now we're talking about cheating. What is cheating? Let's break it down. So I have it defined from an article I seen in Bustle that cheating is one of those things that we all feel like we know the definition of, but no, everybody, I guess, always have a slight difference in what they would define as cheating for them, right? So from Dr. Gary Brown from Bustle, who's a sex and relationship therapist from Los Angeles, defines cheating as like a situation in which an agreement between two partners to be in a monogamous relationship is made and you have an affair with someone else. Then you're violating that agreement and you are cheating. How do you feel about that, Ashley?
Honestly, I do agree with him. If you're in a committed relationship and you cheat on your significant other, it's cheating. If there's no way to put it. I mean, people make their own assumptions of what they think it is, but honestly, like, if I'm going and I'm talking to somebody and we're actually, we're dating, we put titles on things. A lot of people in this generation don't like to add titles, but sometimes that just, helps at least everybody understand like where you're at, and we're getting a little, I mean, we getting up there in age, we want to be serious. So if you're in that committed relationship and you're talking to somebody else while you're dating someone else and you're in that relationship, I mean, that's cheating. There's no other way to put that. In words and text, like there's no other way to put that. So
like it's fun. like it's funny how you mentioned that. There is no other way to put that, right? But like that's why I said it's so tricky because I feel like it's like a gray area. Not to say I'm condoning cheating by any means, but like, okay, what are some agreements like? What would you define as cheating for yourself? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I know cheating for me is like you strictly cannot flirt. You can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't see a text message where like somebody's like saying this and you're replying like it's cool, or like you know what I'm saying, or you're saying you're going on a date with somebody else. Like that's out of pocket. You know what I mean? That's really out of pocket.
Right.
Especially regardless of the physical intimacy of a relationship, but like all that other stuff is really crazy. Like, or like this person does this better than you. I don't consider that cheating, but I would still be angry at hearing something like that. You know what I mean?
See, I don't like that last part because when you start throwing shade on me and we're in a relationship, because honestly, you shouldn't be looking at anybody else. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've all had our mishaps, you know what I'm saying? But no, for real, like if you can't throw that in somebody's face because that's just like I don't know, that's cold, man. Like if you gonna say, oh, this person does this better than you, then like, what are you with me for? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but I mean, what you mean by agreements? I mean, I personally, I define cheating as the same thing you do. If you're flirting with somebody else, I mean, now granted, some people think that flirting can be like mean nothing. Um, I personally think if you're flirting with someone, then that leads to the next thing because I've been in that situation.
Yeah.
So if you go from flirting to texting, you know, you could just be flirting with somebody on Snapchat, on Instagram. Then you want to go on to, you know, texting. Once it goes further than that, I mean, it's kind of like you already crossed those boundaries. Yeah, you know, so, I mean, with the whole, like, oh, people have their own definition, like, no, there's only one definition.
Yeah.
Like, there's only one way to justify it. So, I think that people just, I don't know. If you're going to cheat, a lot of people say if you're going to cheat, then just don't be in a relationship. Right. But sometimes, like people do be happy in their relationship, they just still look for other things.
Which is crazy. You say that. That's crazy because then truly, like, it goes back to like then don't be in a relationship.
Right.
Like I feel like satisfaction. You shouldn't like the other partner is thinking you're in a relationship because I satisfy you, like in all aspects. It's like not like a half-hearted satisfaction. Like, oh yeah, I think I satisfy her in this and that, but you know she can go somewhere else and go find whatever else she's looking for. Nah, then don't actually be with me because I don't fit your quota. I don't fit your criteria of what you want in a person. And I think like leading someone on is kind of like that. It's kind of you are leading someone on. Like you are truly leading someone on, in my opinion, because like okay, I took the time, out of my affection, out of my heart to really try to make you happy, and you're here saying somebody else is just doing something slightly better that makes me fully happy. Like, nah, that means you personally aren't happy with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like once you get in a relationship, it should just be like you're comfortable with yourself. That somebody else is just like the truly like an added bonus. If that makes sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like truly like it's like y'all building together from what the 100% to the other 100% you have, and like it goes to this golden rule I have for cheating. It's like if you can't feel comfortable doing something in front of me, then don't do it behind my back. You know what I mean?
That's deep right there.
You know, if you don't feel comfortable doing something in front of me, don't do it behind my back, because one, that's cowardice. Two, like I said, you're just breaking agreement. Why do that? Like why destroy someone's happiness? That's what makes it truly evil because it's like you're destroying the happiness of the other person by your selfish act.
Yeah, I think another problem is a lot of these relationships, because a lot of people, you know, being young, you know, young and dumb, like they always say, a lot of people don't have good communication.
Yeah.
You know, which leads to cheating, and then they think like, oh, I'm gonna just hide it, you know, because I don't want to hurt this person. But instead of just saying, hey, maybe we just shouldn't be together, they never think that. You know, they always think, oh, you know, I'm sort of happy with this person, and you know, maybe we can figure this out later, but I'm gonna still keep doing my thing. You know, and that's the problem. You know, if we had better communication between, you know, two partners, then cheating wouldn't be. Because I want somebody to feel 100% comfortable coming to me saying, hey, listen, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Or, if we can work on this, we could fix this, it would be better. Our relationship would be better and we can grow together. But instead of doing that, people are being immature. They're not thinking things through. They're not caring for the other person's feelings. And then that's when things start to go south. And then once people's feelings get hurt, today everyone is just, everybody acting a fool when people start cheating,
that Rona,
right?
Got people acting up for real.
No, for real. So, I think that definitely plays a lot of thing into it. Is communication as well, because man, people. I expect someone to be like, listen, that's what we gonna do. We gotta figure this out. And if they don't want to be with you, they don't want to be with you. You know what I mean? Like,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. It's better than you saying, "Hey, I've been cheating for months now," and you're just now telling me, and I'm thinking we cool the whole time.
Do you know what I'm saying? Doesn't that hurt you? Yeah, that would hurt. That's like a stab. Like, like I feel like I've been cooling the whole time, but no, I'm actually been doing terrible. But you just don't feel like you're. I won't even say man enough because that's not even a proper term. You're just not brave enough to be like, yo, I actually don't like you, or I don't feel this anymore. Right when you don't feel this anymore. Sometimes people just let it prolong, thinking like, give me a chance or give me a reason to like stay with you, and it's like, nah, that's out of pocket. Just leave, bro.
Right.
Leave. I'm gonna be happy regardless. I might hurt, but I'm gonna be happy regardless. Don't add extra time to things that you just don't have time for. You know what I mean?
Even if it was like, hey, let's step back and maybe take a break and, figure each other out, figure out ourselves. Because I always say to people, I got a lot of friends in relationships. They're always breaking up and stuff. And I always tell them, like, listen, you can't make anybody else happy if you're not happy. So, your happiness should always come first. Yeah. So, you got to think about that when you're saying, I want to be in this committed relationship, without all the, extra stuff and the cheating and the lying. Like, you want to be happy. You want somebody you can grow with. So, you need to be happy first. And I think that plays a big part in it, too.
So, like, I know you mentioned breaks. So, do you believe in, like, those typical, like, I feel like we should take a break. So, do you think that the break thing, say they mess with somebody else during that break? So, like, I know the definition of breaks is for you to figure yourself out, for you to figure yourselves out, and come back together when y'all think it's all cool, right? Me personally, I kind of don't believe in breaks. And that's just me, just because I feel like if you want to break, then you should just really just break up. Like, I feel like because people, I guess, kind of tainted the break in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I think like more so now than before. Like, I feel like breaks are more like, all right, I'm just going to use this excuse to mess with somebody else, and I'm gonna come back when I'm satisfied.
See, honestly, it definitely just depends on the type of person you are. See, before, like, if I can really read you and I've been dating you, I know if I even want to talk to somebody within like 2 days of me knowing them. So so I can read people quick. If I feel like, see, I'm one of those people, I don't do breaks. So if I'm starting to feel like our relationship is going south and I've tried to fix it, I'm just gonna break up with you.
Yeah.
And once I do, there's no coming back for me, because I feel like I gave you ample amount of time to fix the things, and I don't ask for a lot. So if I'm asking you to fix simple things, that's free 99.
She said free 99, no
like,
tax.
No tax. Like, if I'm asking you to fix something simple, just even if something simple is like communicate with me, like, I'm not asking you to spend thousands of dollars on me, but like, let's have good communication. Let's be honest with each other.
Yeah.
Let's tell each other how we really feel. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you can't do those things right, then it's like, okay, well then, and I'm coming to you multiple times, there isn't going to be a break for me. It's going to be me saying, okay, well, you're just not it for me. And that's cool. And I've had that go south where it's like, okay, well, let's try again in a couple months. My mindset don't work like that. I'm going to move on. My brain forgets you after like 2 days. So,
that's crazy.
Like once I see like, okay, I've tried, there's no point in a break, because there's a couple people that can do that and say, okay, let's take this space. Let's still talk every day.
Yeah.
Let's still keep,
Contact.
the communication, so that we don't lose thought of like where we're trying to get to.
Yeah.
So I do think that it's possible, but I think you have to be that kind of person,
Yeah. I agree. Not everybody can handle that constant communication after something's over. I'm one of those people that probably can't. I probably have to like really cut you off, honestly, just because it's like it's just weird to me. Like you know what I mean? Like we just had a whole relationship. Now we're done. Now I have to talk to you like I'm your friend. I'm not your friend. I was like I once like loved you all before. You know what I mean? I once had like this connection. I spent time with you. I went on vacations with you. I probably went on go. I mean, I love to go vacation with my homie, but like you know what I mean. If I'm going to
Right.
someone like Grenada, or something, I'm going with my girl. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of like it's just so mind boggling because like when someone says break, I actually really don't. I agree with you. I really just don't like it. I just be like I refuse. I just break up. Say break up. It's cool. You can go. You can go move on. Don't break and come back. 'Cause that's just silly. Well, it's just silly in my opinion. Not if anybody really does feel like that. I'm sorry, but I'm just about to disagree with you.
Right. Well, I mean, that's all on
The person, right?
that person. Yeah, if they really think that that can work for them, then hey, go for it. If it really works and like, I mean, it's time apart, even though you're still communicating, but like, maybe just let off the communication a little bit. Take a
Yeah,
breather
yeah.
from each other. Like maybe it's just like you were around each other too much.
Too
Like,
much that you don't become your own person. You don't get a
right.
chance to grow from
Yeah.
what you all separately were.
Yeah. I think that a break can be good if two people
Done
can actually like
do it
balance that.
in
But
the right way, right?
right.
You know what I'm saying? I guess it all really just depends on the maturity level like one has,
Mhm.
to what you got going on. And it's a great segue that we're going to talk about that we just kind of like just define cheating for ourselves, and we try to define it in some type of manner. So let's look at let's look deeper into the types of cheating. You know what I'm saying? So I have type number one, physical cheating. The act of physical intimacy with someone other than your spouse or significant other. And this is the most common form of cheating we both probably ever seen anywhere throughout
Facts.
time. Facts. This is probably like the real, like what people really thought cheating was before cheating became a thing. uh, so like, although physical cheating is common amongst men and women, like, and I got this also from an article as well. It seems to affect men and women in different ways. So in the article it says men would view cheating as like emasculating and like a very form of rejection, which I'm going to talk about after I say the definition. And women might be more likely to see beyond the physical indiscretion if they think emotions weren't involved. And I kind of feel the emasculating part because, like I said, like men now or men all the time, like they always say women are quick to move on and give people another chance. Men, once they get cheated on, it's like they go into savage mode. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever want to cuff anybody again, and or talk to anybody or date anybody again or give love a second chance because they're just scared their heart's gonna get broken again. Just because how emasculated you feel, um, is how emasculated you feel just when you just someone cheats on you. It's like damn, I really wasn't enough. Are you really that grimy? Like I really can't trust somebody else again. And with the whole woman, I want to see beyond the physical stretch. I mean, I can't speak for women, so I'm lucky I have you here. So, but I guess I don't know personally. I can't speak for women. I think I've seen some of my friends that say that if it was physical, they say that all right, as long as you emotionally didn't like her, I guess we can try to make this work. I had some friends that did say that. Um, Other times I just have people just really get heartbroken, but also still come back to that person. And even though, against my better advice, I'll just be like, bro, you probably shouldn't talk to them no more. But they're probably like, you're right, but still end up doing it anyway. How do you feel about it? Like, how do you feel about the physical cheating aspect? You think what they say is true? Something needs to be modified, needs to be tweaked?
Honestly, see, that's a tough one because I personally, I feel like if it honestly, it really depends on who they're cheating on you with.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
hate to put it like that, but you
Yeah.
know, like let's say you're dating someone. Yeah, I put it in my perspective. Let's say I'm dating someone and my boyfriend goes and cheats on me with his ex. Like there's already past history there. So in my head, I'm gonna think there's real emotions, still left over from that relationship, and that's fine. But you could have told me in the beginning. Now I'm gonna walk away at the end of the day and just be, I guess, upset. Not really, but upset at the fact that like I wasted my time, if anything.
Yeah.
But you know, if it's just like, oh, I'm just messing with some random chick I found at the bar, it's like, dude, what are you doing? like you have me at home. What are you doing?
Yeah, like you look stupid.
Right. And I mean, and now the situation will go the same way, but I would view it differently based on what I observe from who it is, why. I mean, if I ask why, like what did I do? If I did anything, like you could let me know. But a lot of men, I feel like, think off of impulse instead of like
emotion.
Yeah. So I mean, it might not even be emotions involved. It might just be, oh, they just wanted to do this one time. But even still, like you got to think of that person on the other side. Like, hey, I am in a relationship. I can't be doing this.
Right.
But sometimes that thought just doesn't cross their minds.
So, like, even going off, piggyback off that, like, do you think sometimes friends can be on both sides of physical cheating? Like, your friend can egg you on. So, say, like, I had a relationship and, um, they'll see a pretty girl, right? And then my friend's like, bro, you just make this move. We won't tell. We won't tell. And like, what I'm saying? It's just like I gotta do it. Like say somebody saying like I gotta do it. You know what I mean? But like I'm still thinking about that girl at home. So like, do you think friends can also be like a factor or like a catalyst to the physical cheating?
Very much so. And I only say that because girls are the same way. Not to throw all my good sisters out there, but girls are the same way. But at the end of the day, you have a mind of your own. Just like when you were a kid and your mom say, "Oh, if Becky jumps off the bridge, are you gonna jump off the bridge with her?" Everybody was always like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it, mom." It's the same thing in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing. If your friends are pushing it on you, like, first of all, they aren't good friends because if they know that you're in a committed relationship and you see something in this woman that you're really dating, they shouldn't even have those thoughts or even be saying out their mind. I mean, it's one thing for them to think that, because they want to be like, oh, me and my guys are, we're pulling all the baddies. That's cool. But my thing is going to be like, at the end of the day, you have a mind of your own. You only listen to your friends. You're a grown man, grown woman, whatever. You should be able to think for yourself in that situation. Right from wrong. So, all that peer pressure and stuff, honestly, if you do it, that's just on you.
Yeah, because you are your own person.
Right.
Peer pressure, like, it's kind of funny because peer pressure, everybody thinks, well, like, oh, like, well, he made me do it. Well, nah, he didn't. What are you gonna do? Kill you because you ain't?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it goes back to the whole accountability. Like, you have accountability to yourself. Like I remember, some time ago, I first got in a car accident. Right? Like, it was my wheels messed up and all that, and then the cop was like, well, regardless of whatever happened, you still caused the accident. You know what I'm saying? You still caused the accident. You still have to pay up for it. Like, and it just resonated with me because it's just like no matter what we say is a factor in what we did, we still did it, good or bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? And which kind of leads me to my next type of cheating, emotional cheating. So this type of cheating is kind of because we talking about physical and some emotions can be attached, right? So that's the thing about this thing because it may include physical cheating, but it's not necessarily so because like how you mentioned early on in the podcast, emotional cheating can start as an innocent friendship. Then we go to texting. Then you go into automatically confiding someone in the person, him or her, intimately sharing thoughts, your dreams, an emotional closeness that would normally be reserved for your partner, your significant other. And emotionally cheating, I think I viewed it actually more crippling than physical cheating because that's basically telling you that person's heart is no longer in the relationship that he or she is in. That's why they're confiding in someone else before they confide in you. How do you feel about that one?
See, that's deep right there because
Facts.
honestly, if you once the emotions get into it, and like you're saying, even if it's not physical and it's just emotional, oh yeah, you lost me. Like unfortunately, like
bye bye.
Even if like let's say we're I've actually been in a situation. Let's say we're taking a break, and I mean not even a break, but let's say I broke up with people before and said, all right, we can just be cool, we can be friends, and it never works out because someone always has stronger feelings than the other, wants to figure out how to get back together. But if you have someone in your circle that you're close to, as a male friend or a female friend, and you confide in them, that could go wrong, especially if that person could one day, turn out to be someone you're in a relationship with, or close friends goes to relationship, anything, you know what I mean? That could go wrong. But once you just like you were saying, if you go from like physical cheating and then you catch those emotions, oh yeah, it's over. I mean, unfortunately, like because you're so attached to that person emotionally, and that's deeper to me than being physically attracted to someone or physically cheating on your partner. I mean, that emotion part you shouldn't even have except for your partner. So once you lost that, I mean, you could still have emotions for your partner and then still be cheating with someone who you also have the same thing with. But the problem is, who carries that better? The person you're cheating with, or the person that you're in a relationship with.
And it goes back to a quote like Johnny Depp said, like, when someone asks me if there's a first or second choice, I always say go with the second choice, because if you had a second choice, if you had a first choice, there shouldn't be no second choice. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a plan B. Like everybody should have a plan B, yes, but like if you truly had a plan B, that means you really didn't believe in plan A to really begin with. You know what I'm saying? That means you probably thought plan A was too small, or like not too small. Sorry, wrong word. Too out of reach for you, so too big actually. And so plan B is just like that safe net that you had, in regards to that. And like going back to it, like yeah, the heart may no longer be there. Like I had instances where, because everybody thinks I'm a friendly guy, you know what I'm saying? I'll be cool, I'll just be chilling. Honestly, like I have a lot of friends. Some of them are women. And it kind of, in some instances, sometimes it can cause jealousy, right? Because a lot of times I'm like super cool to the point that you be like, oh, I don't like the way you talk to this person, or it's not. And then meanwhile, I probably don't even think anything of it. You know what I mean? I'm probably like, oh, that's just the homie. Like, I don't know why you think like that. What the hell? But like, yeah, like people, the way you can't perceive is the way somebody else is perceiving you, because you might not think you're doing anything wrong, and you probably truly don't. But like in the end, you are. I guess if like someone else is saying to you, they're not comfortable, but yet you're still doing it.
Yeah, I think I don't know, the emotions, that's definitely the worst one.
Yeah.
I think that's the worst one.
Yeah, probably.
And it sucks because I feel like physical cheating, I mean, that's intimacy. So like when you already take that stretch, I mean, it's like, man,
it's like, damn, you're cold.
No, for real, like you're cold. That's cold. But the emotions, I feel like that just tops it. Like physical cheating's at like a 70%, and then emotional is like a 99.99.
Right? Repeating decimal.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like not 100, but like almost there. Yeah, round it up.
Round it up for real. Significant digits. And let's get to the third type of cheating, which is cyber cheating. So, as social media becomes way more popular, social media already is popular now. Like that's pretty much our life now. But with the popularity of that social media, cyber cheating has become a more common form or problem amongst couples. So I'm talking about online dating, like your Tinders, your Blacks, your OK Cupids, flirting with people on social networks. And it's good. I was talking to you earlier before we started recording. Like that's funny because if I put a heart on, say I put a heart on my celebrity crush, I put a heart on my celebrity crush on Instagram. I'm sure couple wise, you probably wouldn't think anything of it, right?
Yeah.
However, why is it more so now that if it's somebody like probably that went to my school that like now that's the problem? Maybe just a simple hard eye of admiration, but what's the difference?
So in my eyes, like let's say if you're in a relationship
Mm.
and let's say we can bring this back since we're both college graduates. We know how it is in the college scene, and we got a lot of college friends, guys and girls, between whatever. So you know, if I know that I'm in a relationship, it's cool for me to like someone's picture, but I don't want to comment on it because I don't want to go that far. Because if I know you're really just genuinely my friend as a guy, you know, my man should feel comfortable knowing that like she's not gonna take this too far.
Right.
You know what I mean with the cyber cheating thing. I feel like once you start doing the hard eyes and the DM messages and a lot and you just mentioned the dating apps too. A lot of people fail to realize because you can meet people on these dating apps and then actually get into a relationship because we actually know someone that has done that.
Yeah.
And it becomes okay. Well, don't forget to delete that because I've had friends who were in relationships and I'm scrolling through something. I'm like, hey, that's such and such, boyfriend or something.
Yeah, what are you doing over there?
Was he? Well, sometimes people say, oh, he just didn't delete it. But in my head is, if you know that you're in a relationship, I feel like you can delete it until you feel as though if you might ever need it again, then download it again. Because people can still search you and be checking it. I don't, and I'm not a like let's check phones kind of person because you don't pay my phone bill. But if you, I should be able to trust you and say, hey, I know, like you giving me 100%. I should be able to say I trust you enough to not be on these dating sites, even if it's still active or anything. I should know that you're not out here, putting hard eyes on the girls' pictures that you used to go to school with. I don't care if sis is gay. I don't care about none of that because at the end of the day, it's just not acceptable. You wouldn't want me to comment under some guy's pictures, sending hard eyes, tongue out emojis. That's not cool. If you got to think that at the end of the day, like if my significant other were to see this, how would they feel?
Yeah, it goes back to the early statement. If you don't feel comfortable, I guess if you don't feel comfortable doing it in front of me, don't do it behind me. And it's so funny because we think about the sharing passwords, but like, what if we follow the same people? And I see you put a heart on somebody's picture. I'm like, that's my man or something. Like, what you doing?
Yeah, that's wild.
That's wild, right? That's out of pocket.
Because I see a lot of posts lately like, oh, don't you hate when you pick the wrong friend? And stuff like that would jump right into my mind. Like, man, like
that gets me scared.
That's a hurt piece.
Like, damn, like you gotta I have to bring you to the room because you looking at my friends and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not cool. Can't even bring your girl around your friends who, shouldn't even be friends with your friends at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But, still, cyber cheating, some people take it lightly, but, because I do sometimes, honestly, but then you got to think about it, like those DM messages, that's so easy to hide, so you could easily just be deleting those messages. It's easier to hide than saying like, oh, this person is actually texting me. So, I think a lot of people think of that, as the bottom of the list of cheating, but it's still a type of cheating,
Yeah. Which actually brings me to the last topic too. The last type of cheating, which is text message cheating. I didn't think of it as anything, honestly. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, I actually can see why this would be considered. Well, it is. It is. It's definitely considered cheating. It's just because it's known as texting. It's kind of funny, actually.
I just read that and I'm like, what? Texting. Yeah. Like, who came up with this word?
Yeah, that's actually funny. I might actually start using it too. Okay, know what I mean? And it's come to the forefront due to like high profile affairs of celebrities who were caught cheating through text messaging. So I'm sorry, when I look at it, I think of like people like Offset. I hate to put him out there, but Offset getting caught numerous times. Text, Future. Of course, Future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like according to Fox News, this is considered actually a very new form of cheating because it supplies as physical proof of infidelity. Sending pictures, texting to arrange dates, even some of them that seem innocent but have intentions to like go into something physical can be just as bad as physical cheating. Like, say if I'm saying, I want to see you later, that is just as bad because it's physical evidence that you are cheating. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel like that? The reason why I said it, I don't consider it anything, I just think it's just a prelude to the other forms of cheating. That's in my opinion. But if it's considered its own, I could see why they say that.
So I can actually give you a personal example of this. This is funny. Um, so I had an ex, back in the young boy days, and I wasn't into his, getting in his phone. He would give me his password, but this is like the goofy thing to me was always like, not that I'm like searching through your phone, but every time I come to your text messages, you don't got no messages.
Yeah, sure.
Like, so you just ain't been talking to nobody all day? Like, my message is not even there. You know what I mean? Like, why are you deleting my messages? I'm your girlfriend. So, like, to me, I feel like, text messages, I mean, that's just as sneaky. Especially if y'all aren't into, keeping each other's phones and, knowing passwords to this, and that. And honestly, you shouldn't have to do that if you really trust somebody. I don't want to be checking your phone. I don't want to be checking your Instagram, your phone calls, see how many people you on FaceTime with every day. I mean, that's not what a relationship is about. Our communication should be clear from the start. Right. So, the trust should be there, the honesty. I mean, we need to lay those laws down in the beginning so we know, like, this is what I don't like. I don't want to do this. Because some people do, like that. Oh, I have the password to my boyfriend's phone. I do this and that. My parents been married for 13 years, and they've known each other 30 years. And my mom only has the password to my dad's phone, but do she go through it? No, because she trusts him. You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those things where, like, you learn from your mistakes, and they've been through a lot. So, like, I definitely understand, like, that trust took a long time. But, you want to make sure you trust your significant other, or you ain't going to want to be with them. Because if I can't trust you, what's the point of our relationship?
Yeah.
I mean, it becomes just toxic, at least to me, over time. I mean, it starts to drain your energy, and that's the last thing you need. You know what I mean? Just like I said before, your happiness matters. Comes first. Right. So I don't know. I think texting is definitely still big, especially because you could delete the messages, but just like I saw something on Instagram the other day, people saving people as settings. You see that post?
Yeah, I've seen that. Some people saving them as Domino's Pizza. Like, what?
What? Yo? If I gotta do all that, I'm gonna just break up with you.
Bro, I'm not. There's no reason to hide anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no reason to hide anything just because, like, yeah, like what? What is that? Like,
I don't even know.
Saving them as Sprint, you know what I'm saying?
Like, Sprint gonna text you at 12 in the morning.
The you sound goofy as hell. Like, why? What's the point? Like, people just been getting smarter and hiding, but like, you look dumb in essence because it's like, just break up.
Yeah.
You obviously don't like them. Like, why do that?
That's definitely taking it way too far for me. If I feel like you got to do that, please just let me know now.
Yeah, just
cut the music.
Cut the music.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Just let me know, because that is absolutely ridiculous. If you got to go through that just to hide it, like, do you even care about me? You know what I mean? Like,
care about me. So, out of every type, I know you probably already said this. You definitely did already say this. What's the worst to you?
Definitely emotional cheating.
I would agree.
Once you got that person's heart, it's over.
It's over. It's so cold. But I think emotional cheating is really the hardest, because if you still if someone else has your heart and you're still with the person, you're really a cruel person. Like, that just has to be a cruel thing to do. Like, unfortunately, there's no kinder way to say that. Like, you're actually just a cruel person. Excuse me. You know what I mean? Just because it's like, yeah, like, I gave you my time, my emotion, and you said someone else took your heart, and all you could see is that other person. It's like, that is almost kind of disgusting.
That's wild.
Yeah, very wild.
Definitely wild.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, in that sense, it's like, I really think emotional. I think the next one would be the physical, honestly, because you're actually physically doing it.
Yeah, that's definitely top of the line too.
And then the social media, and of course text messaging, I really just view that as last, just because of how I viewed it as a prelude to the other ones. You know what I'm
I definitely I have to say that emotional cheating comes first, then physical cheating, and then text messages. Because like I said earlier, from the cyber cheating, you can go from like liking someone's picture to going to the DMs and then getting their phone number unless you already have it. And then it'll lead to the text messages. But if you're already there and you're already texting somebody,
saying?
I feel like that one definitely is third. Then you got the cyber cheating.
I can see that. That makes a lot of sense. That definitely makes a lot of sense. Just because, yeah, so texting is like you're actually once you you can get the number from the social media and like actually physically do the action. So it's like I feel like this is kind of all bringing to a chain connection of cheating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just a chain connection of cheating because one can do with the other combined, and it's like wow, you just it all combines in a big addition to make you sound like just a bad person, bro. Like it's all good. It's all good. I mean, it's okay. It's just like, dang, you really had to do that though. Just you couldn't just break up for real.
Hate to see it.
Hate to see it. So we're just gonna take a quick interlude because we ended something cool. And Ashley, when we come back, we're going to that age-old topic. I feel like everybody wants to know who cheats more, guys or girls. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, this is what's going on. We'll be right back. Back. What's going on? What's going on? Go by the name of Andrew Dada. For those you are just tuning in to the What's Going On podcast, I'm joined by my friend Ash Cash, Auntie Ash, and Auntie Ash. We were just
You already know.
so we just broke down, I guess, what we define as cheating and like the different types of cheating. Before we segue into the interlude, and now we're getting ready to go into a real age old topic that I feel like everybody wants to know. Who cheats more, man or woman? What do you think?
Definitely. I feel like women do, but no, like that's tough because you can say I can say that men cheat more, but women cheat smarter. So if I feel like women cheat smarter, then women would cheat more because we can get away with it.
But so, like, okay, so do you think? So I actually have some statistics here. Actually, that says from Folly.com, 20% of men compared to 30% of women are more likely to cheat, and that infidelity for men comes from recklessness and like perceived opportunity. So it like goes back to what I was saying about like like peer pressure and all that, like or like sometimes the girl just likes the guy. They look, it's funny because when you're in a relationship, sometimes I just been noticing like people are more likely to be more attracted to you. Like you give off a certain scent, like security, and then
Yeah.
like when you're single, like nobody wants to come to you.
So weird. I never understood that.
I never understood it, and it's just like, but like it's just like I told you before. I mean, I don't personally think this, but I can see why people's like, I just gotta do it. You know what I mean? What do you think in that regards to that aspect?
Like, same thing. I mean, it's recklessness. I mean, you have a mind of your own. You know right from wrong. You know you're in a relationship. You're not thinking of, oh, who is the person at home that I'm hurting, or you're not thinking about that at the time. Um, like I said earlier, a lot of men think off impulse. So if you're not thinking straight in general, like, oh yeah, like, oh, I'm just gonna go willy nilly and go out here and do this. I mean, that's honestly just insensitive to me, but also reckless because you knew at the end of the day that you were in a relationship. Now the girl on the other hand, if it's just like, oh, some like one night stand kind of thing, I mean, she really don't owe nothing to your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's always gonna be where the blame is at. Is like, you know. Um, but for women, I feel like
Yeah, I actually have it too. Women have a more thought out plan to address perceived needs. Like
See, as a woman,
the potential cost of the risk of being intimate. Recklessness is actually way too high, I think, for women. Basically saying, like you said, women sneak or sneaking more. So because they know, I guess like even go back in the article, you can talk about earlier times where women actually were punished or killed because they were caught cheating. You know what I'm saying? So actually for enforce the idea of like them sneaking it around. But like nowadays it's more so I don't know, like if a guy gets like guys I think in a sense are more emotional than girls.
see, in my head, I mean, it could be both.
They could be both, yeah.
Because as a woman, I can speak on this from
Mm.
like past experiences. If you might not be doing nothing wrong. I just might want to cheat. Like honestly, that's I mean I don't have that mentality now. But you know when you're young, you're dumb, you're thinking like, oh, it don't matter. Like they're not gonna know. You know sometimes it could be like just a one time thing. Like no feelings attached. You know because
Yeah.
like I said earlier, once those emotions come in, you know it could be over for that relationship.
Mm.
But you know, women can do the same thing as men, and I think a lot of men fail to realize that you know sometimes we just not putting up with you know what we getting back. So if you know, it might not always mean like, oh, I want to break up with my man. The same thing as like the guys would say, oh, I don't want to break up with my girl. I still love my girl. I just want to do other things too. All right, but you could have been single doing those things. You know, same thing goes for women. You could have been single doing those things. Because, like I said, women are sneaky, but women also have, I feel as though, more emotions than men, where a lot of them can't stop doing those things because, like we said, they're emotionally attached to that person. So,
Yeah.
not even just physically attached, but, you
Mm.
know, and then, I mean, we didn't talk about this one, but if you're also like mentally attached to that person, oh man, that's over for you. The whole relationship out the door.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
That's like definitely like kind of like a slap.
yeah, slap right to the face. So,
Yeah.
I mean, women, I mean, the statistics, they got to be right because, like I said, men probably do cheat more, but women cheat smarter. So I assume that women would cheat more because we can just get away with it faster. I don't know why men get caught,
Mm.
um, but you know, they definitely just like I don't know if it's something they're doing. If we just know like something's
Um,
wrong with you today, you're doing something
it's
different.
because I think more. I think a lot, and I'm generalizing here, not to say everybody does this, but a lot of. I feel like a lot of women are more aware of the guy, so like you know the tendencies that he would do. So like if something's out of whack, it's more so like, oh snap, he might you know make a different move or talk to this person kind of different, like, or he probably talk like, oh wait, he might talk to me like this, and that result in like the cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what makes it out of pocket. I think women's more aware. I think you know what I mean. If you just really more aware, you peep how this person moves. People make some ticks, or people when something goes wrong, that's how you can tell what goes wrong. Maybe I'm lying, maybe I'm not. I don't know what you think.
Honestly, that's a good point because that goes back to what I was saying earlier with the communication. You know, if you're really sitting here saying, okay, I want to be in this committed relationship, then you should know the ins and outs of that person, how that person thinks, how they feel. I mean, you're not always going to know 100%, but you should have some type of radar that goes off when something's different. You know, and that's why women are good at those things, of catching those things, because we know how men think. Men don't know how women think. I mean,
Mm.
you might think like, oh, this is probably what my girl is thinking. She could just be chilling. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, it might just, you know. And sometimes I see posts about that too. Like, oh, I wonder what my man's thinking right now. And it's like stupid stuff like, oh,
Yeah.
like, why does the cat pee in a litter box or something, like, you know, stupid stuff like, or why he won't talk to me, he's just trying to figure out how to get game tickets or something, you know what I mean? Like, you know, women always go above and beyond trying to figure out what their man is thinking instead of
Right.
just asking. So
Right.
a lot of this stuff is just, you know, communication based. Like, we're not talking enough.
We're not talking
You know,
enough.
we're doing more of one thing instead of more of the other.
More of trying to peep like this is a game or something rather than just actually asking. Like I numerous times people always ask me like, "Yo, you're actually like hard to read. Like I can't gauge a perception on you. So I just gonna like make this thought in my head, and that's what I'm gonna run with because you're not giving me what you truly are. It's kind of like, okay, that's kind of weird because you really could just ask, and I'll tell you. Maybe you might not truly believe it because you might not think that's the type of person I am.
See, if that's like that's a coworker or a friend that's saying something like that, that's different than if you're in a relationship because, like I said, you should be able to, you can be, cool, calm, and collective. You could be a reserved person in a relationship. You could
Mm-hmm.
do all of those things, not cheat. But if your significant other is starting to feel like you're doing something, they should know how you are. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
like as a woman, you should be able to say something's wrong with my man. Like, let me check on him. Let me make sure he's
Facts.
good.
Facts.
Let me make sure it's not something other than cheating because
Yeah.
it's not always going to be cheating. I think people fail to realize that like something could be going on in his life.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like they say all the time, check on your friends. Coronavirus is going on. Like, let's make
Yeah.
sure everybody that's sitting at home doing nothing,
Coronavirus.
coronavirus. Let's make sure that everybody is, keeping their sanity because, it's a lot going on with people I know in general that's like, man, I'm tired of sitting in the house and here, look, we going to work every day. Um, but it would be cool if, people had better communication because a lot of this stuff could be avoided.
Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah. All it boils down to, I think, really, truly, a lot of relationships, the reason why people cheat is because nobody communicates with nobody. You know? Or you can communicate, but at least the argument, nobody really takes the time to listen to the other person's thoughts. I think I made this mistake in the past myself. So I'm not gonna say I'm that perfect person that actually does it. No, I have not listened to I'm not listening or communicated properly what I really wanted. Something I have to work on too. It's not like a work. It's not like I'm overnight gonna be this great person that communicates. Like say, hey, this is what I want, what I don't want. But however, like yeah, I think a lot of relationships end up in cheating because one doesn't know how to communicate with another, and it's always like, oh, I'm never gonna trust this person again. Well, you probably never had that trust to truly begin with. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm. And that's what I'm end with. Well, I don't know what you want. You can talk about something powerful, like what you learned today.
Yeah, I actually learned, the four different types of cheating. I mean, I probably knew them, but, I consider like texting, you know, I mean, texting is separate, I guess I
Mm.
could say, but, how they all lead into one, I think that's not cool, but like cool,
Yeah,
like how they all, coincide
yeah,
with each other. It's,
yeah.
it's crazy how that could happen, but I do think that, it was great to see some actual documentation on who cheats more, even though I've always said women because of just not even just personal experiences, but just like in general. I mean, we can just get away with it more,
Yeah.
and then nobody knows. With men, it's just easier to catch them.
It's because the recklessness.
Yeah, right.
So my question for you
Reckless.
also, even I mean, I learned a lot myself. I just wanted to kind of gauge. Do you think cheating is here to stay? Before I go into what I actually learned.
Oh, of course, because no one's ever going to be 100%. Um, I mean, it really sucks when you're getting cheated on in a marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely like,
That's cold.
yeah, that's big. I mean, we're just generally talking in relationships, but we got to view it in all aspects of relationships, and that includes marriage. If you're out here, even like we said on a break, marriage, a full relationship. I mean, it's disrespectful any way you put it.
Yeah.
So I mean, people just gotta. It's the communication is everything. I mean, if you really feel like you can trust this person, you're comfortable with this person, you should be able to tell them like, "Yo, I'm not feeling this," or like, "We need to fix this because I'm considering other thoughts."
Yeah.
And I feel like people make that harder than it needs to be because sometimes people are too confrontational,
Mm.
or some people just don't like confrontation at all.
True.
So
True.
that could be the main issue.
And it's funny how you say that because yeah, it's people might, and that's why what I learned like I'm learning like yeah the different factors of the cheating itself through this conversation with you. Like I'm learning like yeah cheating is yes while it's just clear and cut like wrong. like people really do have reasons to do it. Like it's not like, and as bad as the excuses are, it's still a reason. Like and maybe it's something we like. First of all, it's something the other person who cheated on you has to work on for themselves, because like they will never be satisfied. They're just gonna always say, "Okay, I did it because I wasn't satisfied." You're never gonna be satisfied then. You know what I'm saying? You have to literally work on yourself. Like I said before, I feel like if a true relationship will work well if the one person kinda is already kinda solidified in themselves, and the other person is kind of bringing in what they have within themselves and just putting it together. Like it's like 100 and 100 makes 200 for real, rather than 50-50 brings 100. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
But like I did learn about the different types of cheating too. I think that was kind of cool for me to see, like stuff like texting, cheating, or texting, and like
Texting.
and like social media, how that's all a bigger part of it. That's all cool. Or even like the true definition, even more so defined than that effect that it's not just the physical, it's also the emotional as well. And I think that's kind of nice and neat because it's kind of such a relatable topic right now. Relatable topic in a community, relatable topic to the world. So in that sense, I'm gonna just end right there, and I just want to say you have now tuned in to today's episode of the What's Going On podcast, and that's all for today. Always a pleasure to have you on, Ashley.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thank you.
much for coming in, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me, man.
Let them know where they can find you. Shout yourself out. Let them know where they can see you on IG. Bring out the Twitter. I know you don't have no Facebook.
Oh man, I'm so corny. I don't even have a Twitter.
I told you, Auntie Ash.
I used to. Oh
Auntie
man,
Ash.
I consider bringing it back too. That's funny you mentioned it, but I'm just like, do I have time for Twitter? I don't know. Too busy. Trying to manage my business. My personal page.
I know about everything, man. Business right? To personal page. What's going on with that? What's going on with you?
All right, so it's a slow process, but my main page is the real Ash Cash, the like THEE, real Ash Cash. So you already know where you can find me. My business page is Lash by Ash. I started in January 2020. I got certified in lashes. I do a couple classic sets. Y'all can holler at me for those. Had to chill out though because of the Rona. Yeah. Even though there's a lot of disinfecting tools, I like to stay away from clientele right now. Especially because we're already commuting to work every day, so already at risk.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So so I'm doing lashes. I also sell 3D minks as well. I have 4 styles. You gotta get on them because they going quick.
Amen.
Also, I do have body scrubs as well. I do eventually want to make body butters. Just trying to perfect my craft first before I get into that. Because I'm real big on lotion. I hate being ashy.
Let me tell you. Sorry to cut you off, but like that body scrub, you want a real review? Like I have it. I bought it. I bought the peppermint kind because I heard it works well for the muscles. Ashley done explained to me like how it's gonna work well for the muscles because kind of have like a little menthol with the peppermint oil. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Every time I use it, after like when I'm in the shower, like I always told her like the pain just goes like right away. Like all that soreness I felt sometimes just disappears. It's like whoa. It just has like this cooling sensation, like I feel like just cooling the muscle down to like calm it down, kind of, instead of making it like all warm and everything. It's like, all right, Ashley.
I appreciate that review.
Yeah,
I actually that's probably one of my favorite ones. I do actually have 4 of them, but I haven't figured out the other one yet. It will be coming soon. The lavender oil with grapeseed as well. Good for acne, dry skin. But I do have the peppermint oil one is great. When I do work out, I do use it for that. Really bad knees. So I rub it on my knees. Makes me feel better. Like I'll literally get out the shower. If you do it in the shower, get out the shower, literally like you'll still feel it like 20-30 minutes later because of that. It's very strong, but it's a good scent, you know what I mean? But strong enough to be better than like that icy hot stuff or that that medicated stuff. This is organic, so you want to use stuff that's good for your skin, and it's exfoliating at the same time. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
Cooling down the muscles and the joints while you're getting exfoliated. You love to see it.
Love to see it.
Love to see it.
Love to see it, man.
Yeah,
so if you need that, man, you already know. Go by Lash by Ash. That's why I say Auntie Ash's Lashes. You know what I'm saying? Auntie Ash's Lashes.
He's gonna make me change that to my name on my business.
I'm telling you, it's probably gonna make. I'm telling you, I'm probably gonna jump in. You go your Auntie Ash's Lashes.
I'm not even an aunt yet, and I'm already an aunt.
You should hear how she talks, yo. She knows what she knows. She's an aunt for real.
I am. I can't lie. I definitely am.
She's an aunt for real.
You just gotta get with these churn. You know what I'm
saying? Man, it's all good though. It's all good in the hood, man.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate you having me today.
Thank you. No, like I said, thank you so much for coming. And as always, you can always follow me at Twitter at Dadavelli, and that's DADAVELLI with 2 underscores. Follow me on IG at Dada 2 underscores the 2 underscores Dom. And you can just follow the What's Going On page. That's what's underscore S going on pod. And man, send me a like, share, subscribe, please. We're on every platform except for Apple Podcasts, so SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcasts, man, wherever you want to hear it, man. Feel free to live, learn, laugh. So this is what it's gonna end on. Going cool. Like I said, Ashley, thanks again. Thank you again, and thank you all for viewing. This is the What's Going On podcast.
Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.
See ya.